Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. This is me Fatima Business Swiley and today I'm going to discuss this topic, the power of positive thinking with ChatGPT with Maya. Positive thinking is more than just being optimistic. It is about developing mindset that help us face challenges with confidence and hope. Through this discussion, I want to learn how positive thinking can improve my personal life, studies, career, and relationship. So, without wasting any time, let's start discussion with Maya. Hello, Maya. Can you hear me?
Oh, hey Fatima. How's it going? Going?
Yes. Maya, today I want to discuss this amazing topic, the power of positive thinking.
I love that. It's such a game changer when you actually get it to work. What's been on your mind regarding it?
Yes. Can you tell me what is positive thinking?
At its core, it's just a mental habit. It's not about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring the bad stuff. That's more like toxic positivity. Real positive thinking is just approaching life's challenges with a mindset that focuses on solutions and growth instead of getting stuck in the why is this happening to me loop. It's like choosing to look for the window when you feel like you're staring at a wall,
Okay.
right? It just changes the whole. Ever felt that shift yourself?
Okay. Why is positive thinking important in daily life?
Because it actually changes how you handle the day. When you're not spiraling over a mistake, you've got way more mental room to actually fix it. Plus, it keeps you from burning out when things get messy. It's basically like a shock absorber for your brain.
Okay. Can
It
you
sounds like you're
tell
really
me?
diving into this.
Yes.
Tell you what, I'm a bit lost. Since we were talking about positive thinking, do you want more tips on how to actually use it, or maybe some examples of how it helps in real life?
Yes. Can you tell
Got
me
it. Let's
positive
start.
thinking improve our physical health?
Let me look into the specifics. It's wild how much the mind and body are actually connected. An optimistic outlook can actually strengthen your immune system and lower your blood pressure. Big part of it is just managing stress better, which keeps inflammation down and helps you live longer. Plus, people who think positively usually just take better care of themselves overall. Does that make sense?
Okay. What are the habits of positive thinkers?
They usually have a few specific ways of framing things. One big one is practicing gratitude, just noticing the small wins. They also tend to talk to themselves with a bit more kindness, and they're great at reframing failure as a lesson. It's more about the practice than just being born that way.
Okay. So my
Do you
next
think any
question, yes. How can I stay positive during difficult times?
that's usually the hardest part. It's less about forcing a smile and more about finding one tiny thing that's still working. Do you find it's harder to stay positive when things are out of your control?
Can you tell me what is the connection between positive thinking and success?
They're closely linked, but not, in a wish upon a star kind of way. It's more that positive thinkers tend to be more resilient. When they hit a wall, they're more likely to try a different door instead of just giving up. That drive and persistence are usually what actually lead to the success.
Okay, so
It's a cycle, really.
yes. My next question, how can a positive thinking improve self-confidence?
It's all about the inner dialogue. When you stop bullying yourself for every mistake, you start trusting your own judgment more. It's like replacing a critic with a coach in your head. Do you ever notice a specific voice that kicks in when you're doubting yourself?
Okay. How do negative thoughts affect our lives?
They act like a heavy fog. They cloud your judgment and make every small problem feel like a mountain. And over time, that constant stress actually drains your energy and can make you pull away from people or opportunities because you're already convinced they won't work out.
Okay.
It's a
How?
tough
Yes. What are some practical ways to replace negative thoughts with positive ones?
one simple way is a technique called reframing. You just take the thought, like I'm failing at this, and challenge it by asking if it's actually true, then shifting it to something like I'm still figuring this part out. It's just about catching the thought before it spirals. Have you tried anything like that before?
Hmm. How can gratitude help develop a positive mindset?
Gratitude is basically a cheat code for your brain. It forces you to shift your focus from what's missing to what's already there. When you make it a habit, you stop scanning for problems and start noticing the wins, which eventually rewires how you see everything. Do you have something you're grateful for today?
Okay.
Fair enough. We've covered a lot of ground on this. Do you have more questions or are you feeling pretty set on the basics?
How can gratitude help develop a positive mindset?
We actually just touched on this, but it's worth diving into a bit more. It's essentially about training your brain to look for the good. When you focus on what's going right, you're literally rewiring your neural pathways to make positivity the default instead of the exception. It's like a muscle you build over time.
Okay.
Anytime. I've really enjoyed this deep dive. Was there anything else you wanted to chat about? I'm all ears.
Why is it important to surround ourselves with positive people?
Because energy is contagious. When you're around people who are constantly venting or bringing you down, it's way harder to keep your own head up. Positive people act like a mirror, reflecting back the best version of you and reminding you that things are actually possible. It just makes the whole climb feel a lot easier.
How can gratitude help develop a positive mindset?
We've actually talked about this a couple times now. It's basically about training your brain to stop scanning for the gaps and start noticing the wins. Once that becomes a habit, positivity starts to feel like the default. Do you find it's easier to be grateful for the big things or the tiny everyday stuff?
Okay. Why is it important to surround ourselves with positive people?
Since we just chatted about this, I'll keep it short. It's all about that energy. Positive people pull you up and make the goal feel reachable, whereas negative people can make everything feel like an uphill battle. It's just way easier to stay optimistic when the people around you are doing the same.
Okay. How can positive thinking improve relationships?
It makes you more patient. When you're coming from a place of positivity, you're more likely to give people the benefit of the doubt instead of assuming the worst about their intentions. Just lowers the tension and makes the whole dynamic feel a lot more supportive.
Okay. Can positive thinking make us more productive?
Absolutely. It clears out the mental clutter and stops you from wasting energy on what if it goes wrong scenarios. When you're focused on the possibility of success, you're usually more motivated to actually get the work done.
Can you tell me about this question again?
Which one? We've covered a lot of ground from productivity to relationships. Just let me
Yes.
know which part you want to go back to. I'm still a
Yes.
little lost here. Since you just said yes, I'm not sure which question you're referring to. Which one was it?
Okay, I
I think we're
said
having a bit of a dis.
yes. How does positive thinking influence discussion making?
It basically opens up your options. When you're stuck in a negative headspace, you tend to play it safe or avoid risks because you're focusing on how to avoid failure. But a positive mindset lets you see more potential paths and a way to actually make things work, which usually leads to bolder, more effective decisions.
Okay, so my
We're
next
on a roll.
question: what role does self-talk play in shaping our mindset?
Self talk is basically the narrator of your life. It's the constant stream of thoughts running in the background. If that narrator is a jerk, your whole day feels like a struggle. But when you shift that voice to be more supportive, it actually changes how you perceive every situation. It's the foundation of how your mindset is built.
Hmm, okay.
You've really hit, you've
Uh,
really hit all the main angles. I'm here. Something on your mind?
yes.
I'm
I
listening.
have in my mind some more question. How can teachers inspire positive thinking in their students?
Mm. It's a great perspective to bring in. It's mostly about creating an environment where it's safe to fail. When a teacher praises the effort and the process instead of just the final grade, it teaches students that growth is possible. Just showing a bit of genuine belief in a student can completely change how that kid sees themselves,
Okay. So,
right?
what are some daily exercise for developing positive?
I think you mean daily exercises, right? A few simple ones are starting the day with a gratitude list, using positive affirmations that actually feel real to you, and taking a moment to intentionally reframe one negative thought a day. It's really about the consistency over the intensity.
Okay. How do successful people use positive thinking in their lives?
They usually use it as a tool for resilience. Instead of seeing a setback as a sign to stop, they view it as a data point, something that tells them they need to tweak their approach. That grit, combined with the belief that a solution exists, is usually what pushes them past the point where other people would have just quit.
Hmm, okay.
You've basically put together you've basically put together a masterclass on positive thinking today. Do you feel like you've got a handle on it, or is there something else you're curious about?
Yes, I have some. My second last question. No. My third last question. How do successful people use positive thinking in their lives?
We actually just went over that one. Successful people treat setbacks like data points rather than dead ends. It's that mix of grit and the belief that there's always a way around the wall that keeps them moving forward. Do you think that kind of resilience is something you can learn, or are you born with it?
Okay. What challenges might arise when trying to stay positive?
The biggest one is probably just mental exhaustion. It's hard to keep that energy up when you're actually in the thick of a crisis, and there's this risk of falling into toxic positivity where you feel like you have to suppress real emotions just to stay positive. That can actually make things worse because it just pushes the struggle underground instead of dealing with it. No rush.
What is one positive habit I can start today?
If you want something simple, start a gratitude list. Just jot down 3 small things that actually went right today before you go to sleep. The low effort way to start training your brain to scan for the wins. Do you think you could stick with that for a week?
Okay.
I'll
So,
take that as a maybe.
um, Maya, thank you so much for this uplifting discussion. I learned that positive thinking is a powerful tool that can transform the way we see ourselves and the world around us by focusing on opportunities instead of obstacles, particles, gratitude, and maintaining a hopeful attitude. I can face challenges with confidence and continue moving towards my goals. Thank you so much for amazing discussion and goodbye, Maya.
You're so welcome. It was a total pleasure diving into all this with you. You've got such a great perspective on it. Take care and talk soon.
Goodbye.